Thank everybody for being here today. Thank you, Chairman Wendy McNamara. I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm sorry.
Let's say Wendy Mack. That makes it a little easier.
Okay. My name is Brenda, and I'm testifying today in opposition of Senate Bill 1. At 18, I found out I was pregnant, and at 19, I had my son. At 24, I found myself pregnant again. I was divorced and in the Navy. This time, I didn't choose life for my baby. I, like many women, deeply struggle with fears from the world, the society and culture our parents have brought us up in, a society where instead of encouraging children to be strong, brave, and face and accept the consequences of their own decisions, we've been raised to think that abortion is a form of birth control. A decision that the community I lived in, the people I was friends with, all considered to be such a great choice. An unplanned pregnancy, a burden, not a blessing. Over the next 12 years, I experienced anxiety, depression, PTSD, nightmares, panic attacks. I found myself on drugs and drinking a lot of alcohol. I also had eating disorders. My relationship suffered, and I was never able to have another baby. 15 years ago, I believed a lie. I was told no one would help me. I was told it was too expensive, and I covered my face, and someone took me to Planned Parenthood. I couldn't even make eye contact with the protesters outside, and the people who didn't even know my baby were out there fighting for her life. I was afraid and broken in my soul and spirit, and while the lady did an ultrasound, I asked to see. My heart was fighting for her life, and I was denied. A stern, "No, you might change your mind." Medicated, I was taken to the procedure room, which was cold. The sounds were horrific, and afterwards, I sat alone. Not one person working there actually cared about me. They didn't care how the baby was conceived or if the father even wanted her. None of this at all, in any way, shape, or form, is healthcare. I went home, depressed, and I didn't get out of bed for days. I buried that shame of what I had done deeply. I couldn't bear the judgment for making that decision. A lie I told everyone and myself for 13 years. I called it just a miscarriage. I since have fought for 2 children to not be aborted and now witness them growing up. I have overcame all my mental health diagnoses, and just last Saturday, in preparation for testimony, I was finally able to name my daughter, Sarah Rose. I imagine a life I would raise Sarah in, a life to love herself, to know her value, building up a strong generation that is courageous and responsible. A daughter who someday would want to be a great mother like me. Now at 39, I strive not only to be a great mother, but a stepmother, an aunt, a friend, a sister, and a daughter. I strive to love stronger and deeper and let every young woman know that she is not alone. A safe community, a generation that values life and all the blessings that their sweet little hugs and kisses and giggles can bring. I'm sure you all have had a baby in your life that you've just absolutely adored. The love of bringing the most important, innocent form of life into the world. I stand here today, just like those protesters then, fighting for the lives of our future generations. And with our community together, with love, we can raise a strong, loving, supportive, courageous generation. I oppose SB1 because I believe moms and babies deserve actionable legislation for real protection. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Representative Nagel.
Thank you, Brenda, for your testimony. Just quick question. You had a child when you were 18, you said, and then at 24 you had an abortion.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you using birth control?
At the time?
Yeah.
I was not.
And was it just because you weren't educated about what to use? Or, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, is it access? I mean, what was stopping you at 24?
At the time, I was struggling to be a single mom, and I was already divorced, and I was working full-time, and it just didn't seem like something that could happen to me because I was an ignorant young woman, not educated, and I definitely didn't have people, community, family, or friends in support of just having a better life. I left my hometown, and I lived in a state where I didn't know anybody. There was nobody in the community. There wasn't anybody that in my life at all that literally cared about who I was, and I just slept around irresponsibly.
Okay.
Which is why I went ahead with that decision.
And do you think that if there was access was more available for birth control, that would have maybe assisted you through that time period? If you'd known, hey, I could just go to a drugstore and pick it up easy, or go to the health department and get it easy?
No, I think raising a community of people that genuinely love and support each other and can encourage us to be responsible and just act with more dignity to our own selves and the people around us. I think if I would have just had one person in my life say that I could have chose life and encouraged me, that they would support me, rather than everybody saying, oh, how could you do that, or judgment for that, I would have chosen life for my daughter.
Well, sure. And how many weeks when you had that abortion?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay, I'm
no,
just curious
I didn't-
how you knew the gender.
They told me.
Okay.
Yeah, even though they denied me an ultrasound. And I'm not sure, I haven't even gone back to Planned Parenthood since, but I've heard that now you get 2 appointments and they make sure that you see the ultrasound, but that's not how it was 15 years ago.
Right. Laws have changed.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not sure they would actually practice that, though, even if that's what they tell them to do.
Okay. Any other questions?
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Norma Holmes?